Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And this is the recording for Saturday, November 5th. And these are the 5 things that I believe you need to appreciate. Number one, the jobs number. The jobs number that came out on Friday obviously was a headline barn burner, 261,000, unemployment 3.7, and an adjustment to September of about 52,000. So at the surface level, which is all I could understand for our Friday recording, I got a chance to dig into the numbers a little bit. And there's actually the numbers are not as strong as they look. As I sit here understanding kind of the adjustments, kind of the raw numbers behind the report, I have to say that I think this is probably the last surprise to the upside. I think the job market is weakening rather dramatically. We will see in about a month, obviously. But I think the reason the market was up Friday is because analysts had a chance to look inside the number, right? The headline print was great news for the economy, but would have been bad news for the Fed. I think people actually read the report and saw the adjustments. There was a birth death adjustment. There's a number of people employed. There was a lot of adjustments kind of below the headline that made the number not as strong, in my opinion. So that's the first thing to understand. I don't think the jobs number that was on Friday was nearly as strong as the headline looked. Number two, we had two Fed presidents come out and talk about more hikes coming, but not as aggressive. This is, in my opinion, worst case scenario. I don't know how else to say it. We are going higher, we are going slower, and we are going to stay there longer. The good news is, I will admit that this should break the back of inflation. I also want to acknowledge that there's a lot of pain going to be felt by a lot of people. If you watched my Friday wrap up, we talked about tech and finance layoffs. I think they've just started. Stripe, Lyft, Twitter, they won't be the last. There will be major layoffs that surprise people. Companies need to get to cash flow positive. They need to turn a profit. They need to survive the next 2 years. And if they don't, if they keep their head in the sands and they keep burning cash, they'll go out of business. And I was an executive at a company who had to cut 30%. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Hardest thing I ever had to do. It's not fun. It's not fun for the manager, director, VP. It's not fun for the employee. It's not fun. It's horrible. I'm glad I'll never do it again. So that's number two. Number three, where were the jobs? I think it's always interesting to see where it's growing. Healthcare up 71K, business services 39,000, leisure and hospitality 35,000. If you remember the ADP report from Wednesday, that was up like 200,000, I think. So again, on this report, 35,000, and then manufacturing 32,000. And I think ADP actually had manufacturing going down. So pretty interesting to look at. Number four, earnings that I'll be looking at for the week. We have Take-Two Interactive and Palantir coming out Monday. We have Disney and AMC Entertainment on Tuesday, Wynn Resorts on Wednesday, and Compass, a real estate company, on Thursday. And then finally, number five, the economic details for the week. It's really about CPI, right? On Thursday, it's the big number. But we do have lots of Fed speeches this week. This is a week that the Fed could yank our chain. So on Monday, we have 3 Fed presidents. On Tuesday is obviously election day. Go out and vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. If you vote, you earn the right to complain, but you must vote. Number two, 2 Fed presidents speak. Thursday is CPI and, of course, initial jobless claims. Initial jobless claims is something to watch. Remember, we need to see 325 for the Fed to feel like they're winning. And I think last week was like 218, something like that. And then Friday, we have Veterans Day. Thanks to all the veterans, and 5 Fed speeches on Friday. So again, big week ahead, both on the economic front and earnings. So I hope you enjoy that. Again, the 5 things. The jobs number wasn't as strong as it looked on Friday. 2, we have Thomas Barkin and Susan Collins, 2 Fed presidents, telling us higher, slower, longer. 3, where were the jobs? Basically healthcare and business services. 4, some key earnings next week. And 5, we have, what is that? 3, 5, 10 Fed speeches, CPI, and election day. Again, remember, go vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. But if you vote, you earn the right to complain. So, all right, folks, take care. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.